Good morning. So this is Michael here, and what we're going to attempt to be doing is show you how to add a contact to the Paragon system, the MLS system, and then how to set up a search for that individual in Paragon so they can be notified at whatever interval you and they decide that they'd like to be. So we start off here at the main entry screen, startup screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to contacts. We'll start with add a contact. You're going to put in their name. And ideally, I think you've got to have the first and last because I've got the R, which I believe is required fields. And let's see, if you want to put any other info down, you can. They don't seem to require that. I like to put phone numbers. That way I can be able to go back and contact them if I need from here without trying to look elsewhere to find where they are or where their contact info is. So, and then I'll usually go ahead and I'll notate here as well, just for my records, that they're a buyer or seller or what they are. So I do that. And you hit save. I realize I did not add a email address, which would be significant if we're going to have them get an email from the Paragon system. Let's see. So I'm just going to add my info. I'll put that it's the primary. And I'll go back and I'll save it again. I always want to make sure you save. It'll tell you that it's saved up here in the corner, that little green notification. Okay, so then you can go to buyer activity or you can click on the next. In the buyer activity, you've got agent recommended, so you can actually go in here and do some things if you wanted to recommend that they go look at something. But we're going to start off, we're just going to do an add a search. And we're going to, I always just do the add new saved search. You're going to add it and then save it. I guess when you've been doing this long enough or something and you've got many that are starting to have the same search requirements and you remember what they are or label them such, then you could probably use the load an existing saved search, but I haven't got there. So we're going to do an add new one. I've been doing residential. Occasionally I'll do the land. You want to make sure that it's for sale. Let's see, you've got single family, townhomes. We don't really have any townhomes. If they're interested in a manufactured home, mobile home, something like that, you could leave that in there. If not, I would go ahead and drop it. That way they don't get unnecessary results that you don't want them to have. Then you go in and you find out what their minimum entry point is. We'll say they're pretty interested in even low end up to, we'll say realistically 200,000. That seems to be the range that I end up talking with. Okay, so, and this is kind of a summary right here. You can see, so I've got active, back on market, got for sale, got single family, got from 60,000 to 200,000, and the bedrooms is always an area that I have issues with. It never puts what I want to have in there. It's got 22. Try to delete that out of there. A lot of times I have trouble getting that to delete. Okay, looks like it finally deleted. Last pass, ignore that. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 bedroom and 1 bath. Come on. One bath, 2 bedroom. Okay. I'm sorry about the last pass there. That's not supposed to be showing up. Occasionally it does. There, got rid of it. Okay, so we're back to our 2 bedrooms greater than or equal to 2 bedrooms greater than or equal to 1 full bath. And then you can set up searches in counties, which is where I default and have some started, a lot of the East Texas counties. If they want only in certain couple cities, let's say they only wanted a couple cities, I could come in here, I can just hit the delete the counties, and I could add, well, let's say I only wanted to live in Marshall, so I could put Marshall, and that's going to be the only city basically where it's going to look. So, and that shows me here that the city is Marshall. And if you had multiple cities, you could do that as well. But for this example, we just say Marshall. Okay, so got the active, single, family for sale, price range, bedroom, bathroom, and the city. And if you're kind of curious, at any given time, you can also hit the count, and that will tell you how many results I found so far with the general search that I have in place. Okay, so now we can kind of minimize that section and come down here to other options and features. This seems to be sometimes more of a hassle for me than an advantage. You can put things like, got to be an assumable loan, have conventional or whatever kind of credit, cash only, whatever type things like that. You can have things that they must not have. And so the easiest way to do that is go over here to this search, hourglass, hit that. Then you can come in here and it'll show you, anything that they feel they must have or they must not have, or they want one or more of anything. So let's say that they were wanting, say, an assumption or conventional or FHA or VA as far as their loan that they were going to be able to qualify for, because they wanted maybe to really make sure that they had FHA or VA. Let's take that one out. Well, I can't take it out now. Okay. Oh, well, actually, I guess I got to click that one. Helps to click in the right area. Right now, let's say that and then this has just so much information here. You got showing instructions, and a lot of this, I think, what I'm finding is if I put it in here, if it's not in an entry in the MLS for whatever reason, even though it might have or not have it, it's going to disqualify that property from being found and shown to your potential customers. So, you've got loads of different things. You've got warranties. You've got document stuff. You've got the style. I had one that I was doing that was they're looking for a Victorian, but like we talked about in class, if it doesn't say Victorian, even if it is Victorian, it's not going to show up in that person's search engine. So you're limiting availability to things that you might want that you're not going to get. So I'm starting to leave a lot of that out. You've got levels, you've got construction, you've got roof, you've got foundation styles, you've got heating, cooling, utility type. And here again, with any of this, uh, if it's not put in the MLS, you're probably not going to trigger it as a result for what you're looking for, or for what your client is looking for in their searches. So I don't find that it's really very beneficial yet. I mean, there might be some caveats that I just haven't learned, but I don't know what they are yet. So I've got one that I did for one individual because he was really adamant. He's a guy from Washington. He just has to have a pool. Now, unfortunately, let's see, there's a lot of stuff for pools. Land features, outbuildings, easements, timber type, exemptions. I don't find where the pool was now. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say pool. Okay, so I put that he wanted a gunite or a vinyl or above ground, or put every option in here. So if it puts anything about a pool, pretty much. So it's got to be at least one of these. So hopefully if it's got anything about a pool, it will trigger it for him. I figure I'll run it for a while and see if I get any hits for him. Not likely, because if I hit the count, currently there are none, no pool options in one of the major cities that he wanted. So anyhow, I've got that there, and it shows here again in your summary all the different options of what you can have in there. So your next step, let's see, we can close, minimize that. Got advanced criteria. One thing you can do is, if say they want a radius of some area, McKinney, for some reason it always puts me back into the McKinney area, and I don't know really why. So I'll drag it back out here. Oh, a little too far. Yeah, a little bit too far. I went to another state. All right, so let's say they want to hit a particular area, say around Longview, and we'll say maybe some given radius. What you can do is you can, where was it? Okay, we can do a draw. Okay, that'll let you do Paragon, throw a band, radius. Radius is the simplest, I find. Did a rubber band the other day, that kind of worked. In fact, since that's so different, I will try that one again. Let's say they wanted a particular area, like this one guy I had that he wanted right up against the border. So, and he wanted, I don't remember exactly where, we'll say from Gray. Oh, yeah, I know. Come on. All right, so we'll try it again. Draw, rubber band. There we go. All right, so I just leave it. We'll say that he only wanted that section right there, no further than, say, Smithland, and not really any further than Watson or whatever that is, and no further than Smithville. So we can do that. Then we can come back over and we can say run search, which puts us back into our search area. There's nothing there, but still you have an idea of the searches there. So what I can do, and you can see it's got a couple of them for rubber band. And if you decide they don't like the first one, I can go to that first one and try to delete it. If I can get to it. Can't seem to get to it to delete it. Anyway, oh, how about that? So I can delete them and do that from here. Let's delete that one, which is one I wanted. And I'll go ahead and delete that one too, since I'm here, because I don't want them that. Because I've got the searches for Marshall. So to put that additional thing over there like I did would be kind of confusing. Anyway, I digress. So we can go back over here to map search, run search, and it tells us what we're looking for. Look for the count. Don't find anything. You can then come to save searches, save search, and say search. I like to put a name of who I'm searching for. I guess if you're doing it just instead as a 3, 2 Marshall, then you could easily do it for generic people and not specific, which thinking about that makes a lot of sense. Let's see, I said a 2, 1. Didn't have a garage, so I'll do that. And I like to put where it is that I'm putting the search. Click save. And then it brings you here to the collaboration notification stuff. So this is what we were looking at the other day. So on your automatic notifications, you've got it where you can either go to the collaboration center, which I haven't learned a lot about that yet, or email. The MLS people were recommending doing the collaboration center, so that's what I've defaulted to. Then you can go to options. The range will be basically for a year that they're going to search for that. Triggers are going to be any price change, new match, new comments. You can actually edit that as well. And they said don't do tours or open houses. That's normally not a good thing. Could do a status change. That would probably be a good one too. That way if it went back on the market, then it would go there. Or if it say it went off the market, I guess it would remove it for you. All right, then here again, you don't want immediate because it starts at midnight. Let's go to recurring. Go to modify time frame. Make it for about 8 o'clock in the morning at the earliest, probably, out of respect for your clients. Do it every day. Do it daily. Hit OK. If you want to be copied on it, you can put whatever, you get notified at midnight if you want, or do the recurring. Or I've been doing off. I don't want to have to keep up with these. I mean, I suppose that if you're getting copies of it and you've only got a few people and you really wanted to be pushy, you could be watching what they're seeing, going out and notifying them, calling them, following up with them, being really proactive in this. But that seems like a lot of work, and I don't know that I want to make this a job. I want to make this something that I enjoy, and I don't know that I would enjoy really trying to force people to go look at these homes or things if when they're getting the same info I am. Is my thoughts at this time on that. Okay, now they've got a thing on the send welcome message. If you've got a message that you'd like to put in there, you can do a pre-canned thing, which would probably be great. I have not done that yet, haven't got one figured out, haven't looked to see what they've stated in the additional training from Paragon, so I'm not using that yet. So then at this point, let's say, you know, you've done basically all of your search information. But let's say if you've gone in and decided, oh well, I want to change that. You know, they call you back later, and they want to change it from just Marshall to add some other city. You can go back to the person on that little world circle there. You can hit the edit search, and that'll bring back up everything that you've got. So I could then go in, I can find the city. Let's say I want to add, we'll say Longview. Actually, let's be different. Let's just go ahead and I'll say Gladewater, where I'm living now here. So it'll find something either in Marshall or Gladewater. Do a search. Not finding anything. Just kind of curious. Okay, so with me, it's just a price thing, you know. So most of the people I've been talking to, they're not into the 300s. They're not usually much over anything over 200,000, almost every one of them so far. So let's see, I can go ahead and add Longview. Might pull up something there. Okay, so I added Longview and I've got one in the search, and we'll just leave that for now. All right, then after you've modified that, you go back to your save search, click the save. You can leave it unless you wanted to add Marshall, Gladewater, and Longview. Oh, well, it's not typing. Oh, forgot. Gladewater and Longview. Press the OK, renames it, hit save. And this thing is slow to me. I mean, a lot of times I'll hit a button and it won't respond for seems like a long time, but it's several seconds. So I think it's just that it's a database, operates off Oracle probably, and it's just not fast, probably not very well designed. So then, go ahead, I like to save, make sure I know I've got it saved. Okay, so then I can come in here, I can go back, look at everything, do save search. Here again, I like to save just to make sure I don't want to lose anything. Okay, so then I can close that and I'm done with him. And then if I want, I can go and I can manage contacts. Let's see if I wanted to look at this Deborah. Actually, let's go back a second on her. Got a notice this morning that she had opted out of all further emails and didn't want to get anything else. So I noticed that there's this little email and it shows right there, you see it says opted out. So she will no longer be getting anything. I could remove her, but she might decide she wants to get the emails later, so I'll leave it alone for now. I don't know how I would turn it back on, or if I can, or if she has to do that. I'm not sure about that. Let's see. And then, like on Mark McGregor, I may want to do something to modify his. He's got almost 100 results. It seems like a lot. Okay, so I've got two different searches for him. He's a guy from Washington. He wanted the 321 with a pool. And then he also is interested in 10 to 50 acres. So he's looking, I've got other residential, agriculture, and I've got all the different options on the size of the lot. To modify that, this is what they give you to modify it. You know, he said he wanted, I think it was like 10 acres or above, 10 to 100 acres. So, yeah, I could probably drop that one, wouldn't hurt. So that'll give me 11, just over 10 acres to 100, or just under 100. So we'll do save. As that dropped them by about 20 results right there. As that probably help it get a little closer to what he's looking for and thinking about. We've got active and back on market for sale is acreage, farm and ranch. Size that he's looking for as far as price, 100,000, 250,000. Type of usage, the lot size, and I did it by a radius for him. So go in here, do a save. Here again, I've got it for that. And like I said a moment ago, I'm thinking I may start dropping the individual's name off and just putting like land, 10 to 50 acres in that price range. That way I could start using these same searches for other people without having to have a large myriad of all these different searches for everybody individually. I guess that kind of makes a lot more sense as I'm talking about this and doing this with you. I hit save. Here again, it tells you it's always, you know, success, or if there's a problem, doesn't like something, it'll usually holler. You saved it already, so I can close that. And then we're back here. So that's kind of the process of how that all works. And I hope this has been helpful to you. If you've got questions or problems, feel free to give me a holler and I will do what I can to help you. And we'll get it maybe figured out and at least get you